will be at 6:50. Tomorrow morning we'll be davening at 6:10. Now for a very quick of our Torah. One of the interesting things about the building of the Mishkan is all the ritual that goes into it. Starting next week, we'll be looking at the ritual in depth. So why do we have to do all this ritual? Why do we care about all these little things in ritual? That the Torah goes out of its way to detail every little detail about the Mishkan or the Tabernacle. And the answer is very simple. We're humans. We need the ritual to give us, so we can understand what's going on and that we can remember what we're doing. There's a lot of, when the Reform movement began, they said, listen, we don't need all this ritual. We don't need to do all these little things. And pretty soon, a lot of the original reformers, in the Reform movement, their families disappeared from Yiddishkeit. It's a very, something that you see over and over again. When you take out the ritual, you forget, you lose the idea. We see from history, there's one thing, there are a lot of good people who have great ideas, but their children don't carry their ideas forward. Their children, in fact, sometimes go against their ideas. When you have the ritual and people following it, the children pick up on the ritual. There used to be a member of the shul who was he was in Europe. His adopted parents had adopted his sister, and they sent somebody to look for him. This fellow would go into monasteries for Jewish children being kept during the Holocaust to save them. He and his brother were given, I think, 5 minutes to pick out all the Jewish kids in the monastery. So what they did was would take out, for instance, a Hanukkah menorah, and the kids who recognized it, they knew those were Jewish kids. They would, in other words, a small child knows some ritual, and he recognizes it, and it's in him. And the same thing with us as adults. We see the ritual and we get used to it, but the thing is that ritual is what keeps us Jewish. This week's parsha, of course, starts off with Shabbat. In the words of, I think, Ahad Ha'am, more than the Jews have kept Shabbat, the Shabbat has kept the Jews. Something to think about. Kaddish Rabbanim.